Okay, good morning, Chavra. Today is the 19th day of Teves, and we are currently in chapter 13 in Tanya. We're on page 87. Are you ready? Okay, so we're talking about the Beinoni that has this ongoing struggle, and the Alter Rebbe brings in that even one who is constantly immersed in davening and learning, specifically learning Torah and davening, he may still have an active nefesh habahamis, an animal-like soul fully of expression. Just that when he's davening and learning, the nefesh habahamis is taking a snooze. That means when one's love and fear of Hashem are being consciously nurtured, that's when his nefesh habahamis is subdued. So until now, we're speaking about a working man who doesn't have time to study all day. Now, what about somebody who does? Can he be a tzaddik, or is he still this Beinoni that constantly has this struggle with his nefesh habahamis and the Yetzer Hara? What if a person sits and learns Torah all day? We still don't have proof that he has completely destroyed or transformed the evil which is in him. Ella, it's possible. It's possible that the evil that's in the left side of the heart is still at full strength. Except that during this time that he's learning, the nefesh habahamis does not have any power, and that means that the thought, the speech, and the actions have no control. They're not invested in the brain, mouth, and hands, or other parts of the body. Why? Remember what we said yesterday, that there's three forces at play here. There's the Yetzer Hara, the evil, the Yetzer Tov, the good, and then Hashem comes along and helps out the good. So because Hashem has granted the mind supremacy over the heart, therefore, the divine soul in the mind, remember that the animal soul and the evil resides in the left side. So the godly soul, which is in the mind, then rules over the heart and rules over the small city, which includes all the different organs of the person. And it makes them the body's organs and serves as a vehicle, as a garment and a vehicle. What does it mean? To serve Hashem. The shloisha levusheha, sheyislabshu bahem, shehem achshava dibur ma'aser, shetayag mitzvah Torah. Like Ari said last night in the car, that the thoughts, the speech, and the actions are dedicated to the Torah mitzvahs. So maybe then that with regard to this individual's thinking and speaking words of Torah and performing mitzvahs, the divine soul rules over the body. And in this area, the divine soul has the upper hand. So that's it. We won. When it comes to the Beinoni, when it comes to the average guy, we'd like to think we might be in that category that's struggling every single day, that's controlling our thoughts, which is very difficult, and certainly controlling our speech and our actions. Even though this is the case when the person is learning and davening, this is not a permanent fix. The fact that the nefesh alikis, the godly soul, dominates is only during these times that he's focusing on Hashem, during davening and during learning. During times of davening and the like. Okay, again, if we could learn and daven all day, then we're going to be in a good position. We're going to be in full control. It doesn't mean the evil is subdued. It doesn't mean the evil is eliminated. But what it does mean is that the divine soul has the upper hand. But nevertheless, Einer rak shlita mishal. It's a temporary thing. What about the battle here? The pasuk's talking about the battle between Yaakov and Esav, representing the war of good and evil. So what happens? Every time there's a fight, somebody's going to come out the winner. So in that particular case, Yaakov prevailed over Esav. Nevertheless, Yaakov did not destroy the Esav. He didn't destroy Esav's angel. He just won the fight. So the animal soul, even though it has been conquered, let's say, during the davening, but what happens if you take a break and you go exercise and you see things there and your mind starts to wander and different things happen? So right now, the animal soul is put in check. But as soon as we leave davening and learning, it's open season again. There's going to be constantly struggle and fighting. So when the divine soul is in its safety zone, it has its extra strength during davening and learning, good. So thus the divine soul gains strength and wins over the animal soul through Gvura, which is strength, and also Bina, which is understanding. So when is the godly soul most dominant? During davening. Even during learning, you can have all sorts of distractions. You're allowed to talk during learning. You're learning with your chavrusa and you start a conversation. There's a good mashal and you say, oh, what about this? What about that? You're looking around. By davening, you have your hands over your eyes by Shema. You have your talis over your head. You're looking in the siddur. That's really when the nefesh elikis, the godly soul, is most powerful. For us, skavya sitra achara, achara becholol hasmali. And the divine soul dominates the animal soul with the intense and revealed love of Hashem, then the sitra achara is completely subjugated and subdued and held down. Avol lo nispato legamre bebeinoni ela b'tzadik. Again, it might be held in check. The good guys are shooting and the enemy is taking cover and they're hovering and they're hoping for the best and everything else, but they're not eliminated. When it comes to tzaddik, he gets them done. With a tzaddik, it says, "Shnemar boy v'libi cholo b'kiri." My heart is void within me, which means there's no animal soul to disturb him, and there's no evil to corrupt him and harass him. But when it comes to the Beinoni, he's struggling. But when it comes to the tzaddik, v'umayes berah shesoyne v'sachlis hasina v'amisus v'amius oy shalei b'tachlis hasina kinuskaleo. If he's a complete tzaddik, he hates him with utter hatred, hates the evil, and he loves Hashem. But if he's an incomplete tzaddik, he hates him with still a lot, but not completely. But the Beinoni, uderech mashal ka'adam sheyashen sheyachel lachzar leyar b'shinosei. Somebody's sleeping, even if the person's in a coma, they have the ability to open up their eyes, get up, and start over. So too, when it comes to the Beinoni, the evil is taking a snooze. He's taking a nap. Sometimes if you really struggle very hard, then he's in a coma for a matter of days or even weeks. You got him in check. But any moment, he could wake up and start fighting again. So when is he sleeping? I'm sorry, during Shema and Shemana Esrei, when his heart is burning with a love for God, causing, it's almost like he puts him in a trance. You ever see these videos where people hypnotize somebody? They go, boom, you're sleeping, boom. Snap of the fingers, the guy conks out. When you say Shema, the evil he's out. He's hypnotized. And then when the guy goes like this, boom, okay, you're awake now. Guy wakes up, what happened? What did I do? So that's what happens with the Yetzer Hara and the evil inclination. Aftale pasuk pumye migirsa. This is the reason, if we go all the way back to the beginning of the Tanya, that Rabbah considered himself a Beinani, says in the Gemara, though his mouth never ceased studying Torah. Because he felt that even though I'm constantly learning and constantly davening, to the point that he was learning the whole time that even the Malach HaMavis couldn't get it. The angel of death couldn't get it. But he felt like, what if I stop? Maybe my Beinani will wake up. His desire in studying Torah all day and all night was a craving and a desire and a longing to get closer and closer to Hashem. His soul yearned for God with an overwhelming love all day long, like some of us may experience during Shema. Maybe when we say the Shema by the end of Yom Kippur, we're all like, Shema Yisrael. There's a burning desire to get close to Hashem, right? That's the way Rabbah walked around all day long with that feeling. So he thought mistakenly that he might be a Beinani, because if he stopped for a moment, the evil will wake up and start fighting again. Our sages have said in Brachas 21a that halavai, we should daven all day long, just like Rabbah was saying words of Torah all day long. If we daven all day long, if we take our time and say the words and concentrate and focus, we're almost done. Just give us 1 second. Davening and learning all day long will be able to subdue our Yetzer Hara, Nefesh Bahamis, and will truly live the life like a tzaddik, with the ability that if we stop for a moment, the Yetzer Hara is going to, the evil is going to wake up. So we don't want to let that happen. Okay, so what's the takeaway? So it's not healthy to think that we're a tzaddik, that we completely rid ourselves of evil, because then we're going to let our guard down. Okay, so we have to think, just like Rabbah did, that there's an ongoing battle, and the more we stay focused on learning and davening, and the love of Hashem is burning strong, we're going to keep our Yetzer Hara at check and at bay, and we'll be able to live a life of holiness and of purity and of love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Have a wonderful, incredible, amazing day. A special shout out to Ari, to Randy, to Yuda, to everybody for joining us online. Larry and Nati and Ruvain and Paul and Howard and Ilya, who are in person with us in Shul. Have a wonderful, amazing, successful day.